Good morning, fellow gardeners. Happy Sunday. It is a nice, it's a little humid, but it's a pretty good, moderately hot Sunday morning. And I'm over here at the garden. I made some big changes today. Um, First thing I always want to note is how much activity, insect activity there is in my garden. There are bees everywhere, all over these marigolds, all over some of the tomatillos still have a whole lot of blooms. There's bees in the cucumber blooms I just pulled. This is my harvest for today. So I just pulled a whole bunch of those lemon cucumbers off of that plant right there. So there's a lot of activity going on, and I got some really great shots of some swallowtail, and there's a monarch butterfly. Butterfly. And the funny thing is that the monarch is a lot more skittish than the swallowtail. You could tell by the pictures. I was able to get really close. But so happy, my tomatillos. I was worried that they were going to grow and grow all this leaf and not put any fruit out. And you can see all the tomatillo fruits. So they're coming. I'll probably be able to donate a bunch of those to the Laurel's garden, which is part of the mission and the purpose of our community garden here. So that's really nice. I started these sunflowers really late. I lost one a couple days ago. It was like flat on the ground. I missed a couple of days of watering. I didn't really miss it. I just thought, I'll go up there, another day. And one of them, but that's why I planted so many, because I think this is too many if they all take off, but they are taking off nicely. As I said, I pulled a bunch of lemon cucumbers off of here, but you can see there's still several there. They're doing great. My peppers are taking off. So one of the things I did was I cut down all these marigolds because they were all over this pepper right here and kind of blocking it from the sun. This pepper did put out a couple of jalapenos. I think there's one on here. Maybe it's a serrano pepper. Oh, just came off. By far, this pepper was the most productive. It's still going strong. This one over here looks like it hasn't produced anything. Oh, here's one. So I'll probably have to pull that off and go check on the other side. It's easy to miss things when you're harvesting. So what I did was I cut all of this back. I pulled my zinnias, which I'm a little sad about, but these in here, this is where the zinnias were. I think I pulled 3 plants out, but they were so tall and weighty and covered in powdery mildew, which you can see probably affected. Do you see this tomatillo and how the leaves are kind of yellow? And this branch of this tomatillo plant does not look as healthy as the others. So I'm thinking, it's just the powdery mildew, but they were falling over and flopping, so I just pulled them out. And I had a tomato right here that was I don't know if you go back to the very beginning, there was a plant that I was like, I don't know what this is. It doesn't really look like a tomato. I'm gonna put it in here and see what happens. I think it produced about 4 tomatoes, and that was it. Likely because it was blocked by the height of the zinnias, which I did not anticipate. So I pulled out the zinnias, I pulled out the tomato. This is really opened up now toward the back of this garden. So this San Marzano tomato plant obviously is very productive. I just pulled a bunch of those tomatoes off. The other thing I did is that my tomatoes got too tall. So they got super tall and they were going. So this is the back edge of my garden here. I'm really not happy because my garden neighbor here, I needed these stakes, and what they did was they pulled their fence and they just kind of rolled it up. But what they did was they trapped, I can't get these out and I can't pull this, it's like stuck. They trapped my stuff, so I don't have access to it. But what I did is I pulled one of these stakes that this tomato over here was on and reinforced the top here. You know, it's not great construction, but it'll serve its purpose because my tomatoes here were growing into their plot. And to be a good neighbor, I tipped them forward and they got so tall that what I did was I just put an extra support in here up top, and then I'm just gonna grow them long way like this. So I did that across the whole length back here with the tomatoes. There's our monarch butterfly. He's very shy. The funny thing is, he really likes the flower that matches his wings. I have pink and yellow zinnias, and that monarch is almost always on those, that orange one. I think that's funny. Basil still doing fantastic. And most of the growth is on the other side of the garden. So here's all the, you can see all the tomatillo. And that this just popped up, all of these fruits coming out, I would say in the past week. These are mini pumpkins. So those plants are doing really well. I've trained them to come up the support here. Here's the other side of the garden. I had a Peter Pan squash in here, and I don't know what happened to it. So it looks like that one's finished. My pole beans are growing, and they found that really tall support, so they're doing really well. And then, you know, we've got the edge of the tomatoes back there. So that's it. This is the back side of the garden. I don't really show this view very often, but all I have left to do is water. But yeah, the big project was pulling those zinnias. I should have taken a picture of how big they were. It was a lot. And carry them to the compost pile. But everything's doing very, very well. A lot of lessons learned this season. And I'm on the fence about whether I'm going to do a fall garden or not. I was at the garden center yesterday and they had a lot of starts for cabbage and collard greens and all kinds of other stuff. But I think I'm going to have a big opportunity once I pull these tomatillos out. So we'll see how that goes. I may go home and start some of the fall garden plants from seed. So by the time I'm ready to pull out the tomatillos, I can maybe just pop them in the ground right there. We'll see. Happy Sunday and happy gardening.